just the personality of this car. Like, this car has so much personality, and it is so underrated and underappreciated. And it's a production car. It's not a Ferrari. It's not a Lamborghini. It's not handmade. That's not what this is. This was made by GM in a factory. Now I'm here to talk a little bit about the C4 Corvette. Started in 1984 and went all the way into the 90s. There were two models, and the one I want to talk the most about was the early model that had the round tail headlights, just like this. Now here's another example of the early model of the C4 Corvette. You can see in the front it's also slightly different with the lower fog lights, and the whole shape of the car is a lot boxier and more wedge shaped than the later models. Here you can see it from the side profile. Now the Corvette came out in 1984, and this body style, the early body style, ran until 1989. I believe in the 90s it changed slightly. You had a different tail end but the same front end, and then in the 90s the dash and interior started to change, as well as the shape became more swooped. Now, one thing that happens with the early models that I think people say that it hasn't aged as well is because of this wedge shape, and it really depends on the angle of the car, like how it ends up looking. A lot of people see it from this angle when they're standing next to it, and it kind of has this strange wedge shape to it that isn't quite as desirable to look at. But as you can see from this model of the convertible at a different angle, it changes quite a bit. I mean, I believe this angle is a lot more desirable to look at. But the thing about the car is that it screams the 80s. I mean, who doesn't love the 80s? 80 nostalgia. It's the best thing ever. And look at the inside of this dash. I mean, there is literally, of all cars ever, a never cooler, better looking dash than this. This is the best. And there's better technology, and everything is looks like little TV screens nowadays. That's not what this is at all. This is like a early Star Wars. This is like early liquid crystal display technology, and it's just out of the world. You got to sit in one of these cars and see the screen. This makes the whole experience. Like, the car is an experience. It's not the fastest Corvette. See, the dash changed to a more normal looking one in the later models. See, like, they changed all of that. The style of the car, it lost style. Still a great car, but after C4, until like maybe the C8, but still not there. It doesn't have the style. It doesn't have the quirks. Okay, here's an example of that dash again. That's outside of the car and what it looks like as a part. Coming out of an 88, and 88 is what I have. But I mean, like, that is what I want to get at when I get my car back for the channel. I want to show you guys like the style and the quirks of, like, just the personality of this car. Like, this car has so much personality, and it is so underrated and underappreciated. And it's a production car. It's not a Ferrari. It's not a Lamborghini. It's not handmade. That's not what this is. This was made by GM in a factory.